Hello all, welcome to Embedded Linux Learning Point. In this tutorial, we will see how to navigate Linux file system. When you log in to the system and open the shell command prompt or the terminal in our case, you'll usually be placed in your home directory. And if you want to explore other areas of Linux file system other than your home directory, this video is for you. So this video will show you how to navigate file system using shell commands. Watch the entire video and you will reward yourself with one more drop of Linux knowledge and one step closer to mastering Linux. First of all, we will see a little bit about the Linux file system itself. Linux stores files within a single directory structure called virtual directory. The virtual directory contains file paths from all the storage devices installed on the computer merged into a single structure. So what it means is you could have different storage devices, but all these storage devices are merged into a single directory structure. The Linux virtual directory structure contains a single base directory called the root. The directories and files beneath the root directory are listed based on the directory path used to get them. So what it means here is that the virtual directory starts with this root directory and the other directories are constructed from this directory, from the root directory. So in Linux, you will see path file paths similar to the home, the root directory, then the home, virish, document, elp, and test.txt. Pictorially, you can see that the text file is present in the directory elp, which is again present in the documents. The documents directory is present in the virish, the user, and this is present under the home. The home directory is present within the root directory. So if you have to see this in the file system, there's a home directory, and then under this you have documents and the elp, and there is the test.txt. And if you right click and then open the properties, what you would see is the exact parent folder is this home, this path, and this is the text file. So that's how you will see in the Linux file system. So the Linux file system structure originally evolved from the Unix file system, Unix file structure. As you know that Linux is similar to Unix. In a Linux file system, common directory names are used for common functionalities. So what it means here is that every directory has a purpose. So, and these directories are named according to their content. So if we go to the root directory, in this case the computer, okay, as you can see here, the computer is the root directory in my case. Okay, and let's see what all the things that are contained in the root directory. So the file system starts with the root directory, the root of the virtual directory where normally no files are placed. The next thing that you will see is the bin directory where many GNU user level utils are stored. So if you open and you can see that a lot of GNU utilities will be stored. The next is the boot directory where the boot files are stored. And here in my case I have a CD-ROM. Of course it's not part of the Linux file system hierarchy standard. Whenever you insert a CD, The CD-ROM gets mounted, the device gets mounted to the CD-ROM. And the next is the dev directory is where Linux creates device nodes. If I have to open and show you, there are, as you know, there are block devices and character devices. If you see the CD-ROM, this is a device. The console is a device. So this basically contains the devices that are present in your system. The next directory is the etc. It is system configuration files directory. So this contains a lot of system configurations. Next is a home directory where Linux creates user directories. So in my case, we have only one user called VH, and this is present in the home directory. The next is the lib directory where system and application library files are stored. So lib32 is similar to this, where the system and application libraries are stored for a 32-bit architecture, and lib64 contains the system and application or the library files for 64-bit architecture. The media directory, a common place for mount points used for removable media. For example, currently I don't have anything in here. I mean, any device here. If you install a pen drive, for example, this gets mounted in the media. Because this is not, mm, this does automatically. The next directory is a mount directory, another common place for mount points used for removable media, similar to the pen drives. Opt is optional directory, often used to store third-party software packages and data files. Proc, the process directory where current hardware and process information is stored. So this contains all the processes that are running currently. Root is the root home directory where normally none of the users will have access to this, only the root user will have access. And the next is run. So run directory where runtime data is held during system operation. The SBIN is system binary directory where many GNU admin level utilities are stored. So the snap, this is for the snap package manager. This is not part of the LFS standard. SRV is a service directory where local services stores their files. And next, this is directory, system directory where system hardware information files are stored. Next, we have a temp, as the name indicates, the temporary directory where temporary files, work, temporary work files can be created and destroyed. Next, the user directory where the bulk of GNU user level utilities and data files are stored. If you see the user, you have the bin games include. These are specific for the user, or I would say any things that are installed for the user, it will be present here. The var is a variable directory for files that change frequently, such as log files. Here you can see the cache, the crash data, the backups. All these are things that vary during the run, right? So that those things are placed in the var directory. Now that we know that uh, what are the directories present in the Linux file system, so for more information, you can visit this link. I put it in the description also. So now that we know what are the directories that are present in the Linux file system, how do you traverse these directories? Traversing means how do you go from one place to another place within your Linux file system in the command line. So the first command that you need to learn is that we need to learn is change cd command. Cd means change directory. Syntax is pretty simple. You have a cd and then the destination. Destination here means the path where you want to traverse. So the path can be of two types, or the method to reference directory is two types. One method is using the absolute directory reference. You can reference directory names within a virtual directory system using an absolute directory reference. And absolute directory reference defines exactly where the directory is in the file system, starting from the root. An absolute directory reference always begins with a forward slash. So if you have to understand here, let's do something hands-on. Okay, now cd is a command, and I want to keep an absolute path. So as you know, absolute path starts with the forward slash, and then I'll move to user, is a directory where all the user related files are installed, and then I'll go to bin. Okay, so you can see magically took you from the cd, from the home directory to the user bin directory. Okay, and you can move to any level within the entire Linux virtual directory structure from any level using the absolute directory reference. So what it means that from this point you can move to any other Linux directory using the absolute path. Okay, now we are in the bin, user bin, and I want to move to var backups. Okay, so as you know, the absolute path starts with the forward slash, then the var is directory in the root, and then I have backups files that are present. Backups directory where the backups files and directories will be present. And if I enter, I can directly go there. So, and I need not traverse back from bin user and root and then travel to var and backups. So you can just jump from one place to another place directly. That's the advantage of the direct reference. And the other method uses a relative directory reference. Relative directory reference allows you to specify a destination directory reference related to your current location. Okay, so what it means that you're going to reference your path or the destination path with the present directory. A relative directory reference doesn't start with a forward slash, which you will see now. And here the two important convention that we need to remember is the single dot represents the current directory, the double dot represents the parent directory. Okay, now we are in backups, and let's just go back to parent directory. As you know, to move to parent directory, I can use double dot. Okay, and we came back to var. And one thing I want to show you that this dot will refer from your reference from your current working directory. Right? Current working directory is the root var, the forward slash and var. Then I will move to okay dot will take me to the root directory, and from there I want to go to my home directory and then documents, right? So cd took directly from the var to this root directory, and from the root directory I can navigate with home relation documents, right? So this is how you're going to use the double dot. The one interesting thing is double dot is it represents the parent directory, and that point becomes your reference. So let's say if I do now currently if I'm in the documents and I go to cd and then do a double dot, then I came back to home directory, and then I can reference I can again go to the documents. See, I came back to documents itself. So just a trick, I would say. So that's how we use the cd command with both the the relative reference, and the absolute reference of the paths. The next thing that we want to know is, let's say you want to know in some shells, okay, you don't see this directory name here, the where the cell session is. So in that case, you can use the pwd command. Pwd means the present working directory, and it will show you where exactly your cell session is running. This is pwd, so we are at home, variation and documents, and we're in the documents directory. I hope this video helped you in navigating the file system. If you like the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.